All right, we're going to discuss the pancreas and the function of insulin and glucagon. Now, we're only going to discuss just the pancreas this time around, and many of you have already heard of insulin, or at least heard of insulin, and glucagon. Glucagon isn't discussed as much, but I'm going to discuss how each of these hormones operate in tandem to keep your blood sugar levels under control. Insulin, I'm just going to draw a few arrows up here to signify that it is responsible for the uptake in substances like free fatty acids, amino acids, and glucose, which is the main one. Again, glucose being the sugar that we need in order to do work. It provides us with our energy. And insulin, whenever you exercise, you want your insulin levels to go down. And here's why. Again, insulin is responsible for the uptake of free fatty acids, amino acids, and glucose in your plasma. So if it's uptaking the substances that you need in order to do the work, and if you're exercising and your insulin levels just spike because your pancreas is malfunctioning, then that means that it's going to uptake the glucose that you need in order to do the work. So you run into the possibility of passing out or something crazy like that. So that is why you need insulin to drop whenever you're exercising. Now, whenever there is a spike in glucose, insulin is going to come in and lower it to the level that it's supposed to be. So in other words, insulin comes in and lowers elevated glucose. And another thing that insulin is triggered by a decrease in epinephrine and norepinephrine. Those are the hormones that are secreted by your adrenals that I discussed in the previous video. So that's a little known fact, or at least not as commonly talked about, what insulin is triggered by. So insulin is triggered by an increase in glucose, and whenever you exercise, the insulin levels goes, or at least your insulin level is supposed to go down. Then you have glucagon. Glucagon is the opposite. And I'm going to draw an arrow pointing to the right to signify that it mobilizes stuff. It mobilizes gluconeogenesis. I'm just going to write gluconeo here. And it also mobilizes FFAs. Now, whenever you're exercising, your glucagon levels go up because it's pushing glucose and gluconeogenesis into the bloodstream, so that way your body can do the work that it needs to do. So the sugars can get to your tissues, it can get into your muscles, and you can actually get through your exercise. Glucagon is also triggered by a decrease. I'm going to put stimuli. It's triggered by a decrease in your glucose levels. So these hormones, again, they work in tandem in order to keep your blood sugars under control. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about the testes and the ovaries. It's going to be a fun video. So continue to hang 10 and continue to learn. See you in the next one.